بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي لا تدركه الشواهد ولا تحويه المشاهد ولا تراه النواظر ولا تحجبه السواتر، ثم الصلاة والسلام على حبيب إله العالمين وصفيه سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين محمد وعلى آله الطاهرين وصحبه المنتجبين. Praise be to Allah, who is such that senses cannot perceive Him, places cannot contain Him, eyes cannot see Him, and yet veils cannot cover Him. We greet and salute the most beloved of all the messengers, our Prophet and his pure progenies. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Sisters and brothers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our 21st program during this blessed month of Ramadan. As usual, I pray for everyone to be safe and protected during these difficult times. يقول الله تبارك وتعالى في القرآن الكريم: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم، بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ويطعمون الطعام على حبه مسكينا ويتيما وأسيرا إنما نطعمكم لوجه الله لا نريد منكم جزاء ولا شكورا. They gave food out of their love for Allah to the needy, the orphan, and the captive. We give this food for the sake of Allah and desire no recompense or thank in return. Surah Al-Insan, verse 8 and 9. As I face the mihrab, I see the calligraphy of Surah Al-Insan depicted and presented all around the prayer hall. I would like to start and offer my condolence for the anniversary of the martyrdom of Amir al-Mu'mineen salawatullah salamu alayhi tomorrow. Tomorrow, for huge Shia Muslim communities around the world, is one of the most tragic and sorrowful days in their religious history. The anniversary of the martyrdom and shahada of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam Ali alayhi salatu wassalam. The only human being that was born in Kaaba was struck as he was facing Kaaba in a mihrab in Masjid al-Kufa. And 2 days on the 19th of Ramadan, 40th after Hijrah, and 2 days later he passed away. According to most Shia as well as some Sunni sources, verses 5 to 22 from Surah Al-Insan were revealed in relation to the family of the Holy Prophet, specifically Amir al-Mu'mineen, Sayyidah Fatima, Imam Hassan, and Imam Hussein. The account of this revelation, with a slight variation from Al-Tabarsi, Al-Qurtubi, Al-Alusi, and others, the gist of the story that led to this revelation is claimed and stated that Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein were somehow sick. And the Holy Prophet and a group of followers came to visit them. They suggested to Ali that if he were to make a vow, nadr, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in supplication for their recovery. So Amir al-Mu'mineen and Sayyidah Fatima al-Zahra salamullah alayha and Fidda, the house help, vowed that if Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein were to recover, they would fast for 3 days. And upon recovery of Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein, they decided to fast. At the time of iftar of the first day, it is stated that Amir al-Mu'mineen borrowed a little bit of barley from someone, and Sayyidah Fatima had grounded them into flour and baked few pieces of bread from them for the whole family. And they were about to break their fast when there was a knock at the door, and a needy person asked that he did not have food and was hungry, if the family of the Holy Prophet could give him some food. So the family gave him their bread, and they broke the fast with water. The following night, the same thing happened. As the family were preparing to break the fast with pieces of barley bread and water, an orphan came to the door and said, Ya Ahl Bayt Rasulullah, I am an orphan, I don't have food, can you please give me something to eat? Again, the family gave him the bread, and they broke their fast with water. The third night, the same thing happened, but this time it was a captive who came to the door and asked the family to give him some food because he didn't have one. They gave him the water, repeated the charity, they gave him the bread, and they broke their fast with water. After 3 days of not eating anything, Amir al-Mu'mineen took the family, his wife and 2 children, to the Holy Prophet to show them that their status, physical status. And it was at that time that Jibreel descended, and with this surah, Surah Al-Insan, the beginning of it, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا. Has it occurred to a human being that there were time that there were nothing? So this was the surah that was revealed, and later on, verse, as I indicated earlier, verse number 5 to later 22nd, is specifically related to the incident that took place a few nights before. Since tonight is the night of the 21st, and as I stated, it's very critical, sad, and tragic night for us. Tomorrow there is A'mal, and the second night of Qadr, Layad al-Qadr. I would like to focus on the life of Amir al-Mu'mineen, salawatullah salamu alayhi, and it is a slight departure from the tafsir that we have. Right at the beginning, I must confess that no one can adequately write or talk or do justice about the life of Amir al-Mu'mineen because of the complexity of the character of this holy personality. What we can do is nothing more than anecdotal matters and reports about his life. There is a hadith from the Holy Prophet certainly underscores the monumental work that anybody who starts or wanting to write about the life of Amir al-Mu'mineen and to be exhaustive at the same time. Ya Ali, ما عرف الله حق معرفته إلا أنا وأنت وما عرفني حق معرفتي إلا الله وأنت وما عرفك حق معرفتك إلا الله وأنا. O Ali, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the way Allah deserves to be known or at least understood, nobody can do that apart from the Holy Prophet and Ali. And no one understands the Holy Prophet apart from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Ali. And no one truly understands who Ali is and his complex character apart from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Holy Prophet. This fact that only few best of the best, the Holy Prophet and Amir al-Mu'mineen salawatullah salam alayhi, are able to understand Allah, and only Allah and the Holy Prophet understands Ali, clearly underscores the challenge that anybody that enters this field and intends to talk about the life of Amir al-Mu'mineen salawatullah salam alayhi. Over many decades, centuries, and a millennium, huge amount of literature has been written about the life of Amir al-Mu'mineen salawatullah salam alayhi, about his social justice, political administration, protection of minorities' rights, support and sympathy for the poor, the orphaned, and the needy, his humility, zuhd, austere way of life, etc., etc. Very few figures in the early history of Islam, in the nascent Islam, had as pervasive and enduring influence on the life, both symbolic as well as practical, on the unfolding of the Islamic thought, culture, and spiritual life as Amir al-Mu'mineen did. One of the most noticeable features of his life is his legacy on medieval Islam, or for medieval Islam. It is indeed the range of discipline that he covers: theology, exegesis, calligraphy, numerology, and then law, mysticism, grammar, rhetoric. All this are issues or disciplines that Amir al-Mu'mineen in one way or the other addresses. You just need to go and find a good explanation or commentary on Nahj al-Balagha and see the range and the vastness of the knowledge that Amir al-Mu'mineen expresses. Unfortunately, it fell on deaf ears at the time. They really could not understand him. If they say that sometimes one is out of one's place and time, Amir al-Mu'mineen certainly was out of that time, because they didn't deserve him and they didn't understand him. If the story is true, when he delivers a sermon and says, "Saluni qabla an tafquduni," ask me any question you want before you lose me, and then somebody stands up and says, "If you are telling the truth, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, how many hairs do I have in my beard?" That shows the discrepancy between the leader and the people that he led. That's why he was so at pain trying to explain few things to them. It's his views on social justice, human right, that catapulted him into global stage. When United Nations, as well as World Organization for Human Rights, called upon the leaders, the political leaders around the world, to read his statements and act according to his command if they really want social justice to be established in their country. Amir al-Mu'mineen salawatullah salam alayhi was born on 599 or 600 current era. His father, Sayyidina Abu Talib, and his mother, Sayyida Fatima bint Asad. The first cousin of the Holy Prophet, and later the son-in-law of the Prophet. He was around 6 years old when taken by the Prophet into his household. The story goes that Abu Talib, there was a famine, and Abu Talib did not have the necessary financial means to feed his family. So the Holy Prophet proposed with his uncles, each one would take one child, one son from Abu Talib, reducing the burden on him and making it a little bit more manageable for him. The Holy Prophet picked Ali. And from that time until the end of the Prophet's time, Ali was a constant companion of the Holy Prophet. He frames that period eloquently in Nahj al-Balagha. When I was but a child, he took me under his wing. I would follow the Prophet as a baby camel would follow the footstep of its mother. Every day he would raise up a sign of his noble character, encouraging me to follow it. He was the first to confirm the mission of Islam when the Prophet brought the message. And after migration, Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam distinguished himself as the most outstanding military leader in his time and possibly ever. He is considered to be by Shia community the Imam, the first Imam of their community, appointed by divine mandate. That mandate was given in Eid al-Ghadir, in Ghadir Khum, to lead the Muslim community after the demise of the Holy Prophet. Yet, after the demise of the Holy Prophet, the events, the way unpacked itself, and the usurpation of the right of Amir al-Mu'mineen from proper leadership of the community led to the fracture that exists between the Muslims, and we still suffer its consequence up to today. Amir al-Mu'mineen refers to that period. You are all aware that I am the most entitled to leadership. But by God, I shall resign myself to this situation for as long as the affairs of Muslims are being soundly managed, and for as long as there be no unfairness except in relation to me alone. Very rarely we have in human history, as I just touched upon it, there exists a person that brings together so many characters and traits and excels in all of them. On one would require chivalry to go with a strong or at least hardened heart to stand on the battlefield and have no compassion. Yet we see him during the battle, while defending himself, absolute compassion. The coming together of so many traits and characters, and multitude of them, makes this personality what we call a multifaceted character, which is, as I started with, by indicating that we really are inadequate when we want to talk about Amir al-Mu'mineen, multifaceted character, that we cannot address the character in its totality with all of its facets. We have to focus on one character at a time and address it. And a number of people have done so. George Jordak, the Lebanese author, Christian, focuses on social justice alone and writes a book, Ali Sawt al-Idal al-Insaniya, the voice of human justice. It's been translated in English and other languages. Raja Garudi focuses only on the wasiyah of Amir al-Mu'mineen salawatullah wa salamu alayhi to Imam Hassan and Hussein before his death. And he says, what character are we talking about? The person, the captive now, the person that really killed you, and you pay so much attention about his well-being. Share your food with him. Be respectful to him. If I die, then naturally you have the right for qisas. He has hit me once, you can hit him only once. If I stay, which unfortunately wasn't to be, I am the one who would forgive him. And Raja Garudi continues with that wasiyah. One of the clearest ways in understanding our inadequacy about the life of the Holy Prophet, life of Amir al-Mu'mineen, although they are no difference, as we just find out, is to look at the ahadith that we have from the Holy Prophet, the fada'il and manaqib of the Holy Prophet that mentions Amir al-Mu'mineen, revealing the extraordinary close relationship between the two of them. There are books written, I don't intend to dwell too much on it, books written about this manaqib and fada'il of Amir al-Mu'mineen from the words and the mouth of the Holy Prophet. Aliyun ma'al haqq wal haqqu ma'a Ali. Ali is a paradigm. If you want to see justice and truth, see where Ali stands. La yaftariqan, they are not going to be separated from each other. There is another hadith from the Holy Prophet, Aliyun ma'al Quran. Again, wal Quran ma'a Ali la yaftariqan. Ali represents the essence of Quran. In the Battle of Siffin, when Muawiyah resorted to the trick of putting Qur'ans on the spear, Amir al-Mu'mineen told them, what you see on the top of the spear being lifted by Muawiyah is nothing more than pieces of paper. I am the living Qur'an. He refers to this hadith. Qur'an is with me. Wherever I stand, Qur'an stands. Whoever opposes Ali opposes Qur'an. I am the city of knowledge from the Holy Prophet, and Ali is the gate of that city, or the gatekeeper of that city. Now the fabrication started that this Sahaba is the ground of the city, the other Sahaba becomes the roof of the city, etc., etc. Whoever obeys Ali obeys me, and whoever disobeys Ali disobeys me. Again, another hadith. But this one, for me at least, stands out. Ali is like my soul, kanafsi. That shows how close the relationship was between the Holy Prophet and Amir al-Mu'mineen. And because of that soul, the departure of the Holy Prophet, the soul still remains to lead the community. Unfortunately, they reduced the whole thing into khilafah, all the Jahili mindset of grabbing power, wealth, and everything else that led to the corruption gradually until in Uthman's time, it's well documented in books. And many more of these manaqib and fada'il that books have been authored about them. Now, there is a question here. Marhum Mutahari, rahmatullah alayh, poses a question and then develops this question and unpacks it and tries to answer. What causes certain people to love Ali beyond their soul? And yet we see in the opposite side, there are some people that despise and detest Ali. So Marhum Mutari calls it the attraction and the repulsion. Jazibe wa dafi'ah. Attraction and the repulsion within Amir al-Mu'mineen. What makes Ali attract group of people such as Salman, Abu Dhar, Miqdad, Ammar Yasir, and few others? With chivalry, free-spirited individuals, loving justice, etc., etc. And yet repels a number of shifty characters such as Muawiyah, Amr ibn As, and few others, Marwan ibn al-Hakam, and the rest of them. What is it within this character that plays this role of attraction and repulsion? When Marhum Matari gets to this point, he claims that if you look at human beings, there are 4 different types of characters. There are those that considered to be neutral character. I mean, he says, let's look at Amir al-Mu'mineen before we move further. Maytham al-Tammar, he was one of the disciples of Amir al-Mu'mineen, but lived up to 20 years after his martyrdom. Abdullah ibn Ziyad, or one of the authorities in Kufa, they tie him to a date tree. Maytham al-Tammar is, and Maytham has a place near Kufa, used to sell dates. They tie him to a date tree and literally cut his hands and feet. Yet, anybody that passes by, he calls them, come and listen to Fada'il and Manaqib Amir al-Mu'mineen salawatullah salam alayhi, until they cut his tongue. He never stopped praising Amir al-Mu'mineen. What is it within this character that brings people like Maytham to Ali? There is another story that Marhum Mutahari gives, Ibn Sakit, 200 years later, during Al-Mutawakkil al-Abbasi's time. He is extraordinary character, knowledgeable, scholar, and Mutawakkil, because of his knowledge, brings him to the palace to teach his children. One day, being the final of the exam or final of testing the children, Mutawakkil comes with a group of his cronies. They sit, so Ibn Sakit comes and tests the children gives them question. They excel. Mutawakkil al-Abbasi becomes arrogant, or became arrogant and boastful. He knew that Ibn Sakit has got a Shia tendency and lover of Ahlul Bayt. So, to put him in an uncompromising situation, he says, Ya Ibn Sakit, don't you think that these children are more worthy and more knowledgeable than Hassan and Hussein? Subhanallah. Now, if it was us, or if it were us, knowing who Mutawakkil is, we would have found any excuse under taqiyya to hide under it and go under the radar. Suddenly, we didn't hear properly or something else. Ibn Sakit proudly stands up. He said, the slipper of Qambar, which is the servant of Amir al-Mu'mineen, is worthier than you and your children and all your family. What makes him love Amir al-Mu'mineen to such an extent that you give, literally, the moment you open your mouth, you know you are going to be killed, but you give your life for it? We saw similar kind of things during Intifada in Iraq, during Saddam's time, when a group of youth and younger members of the community were captured by Saddam and his army, and they were brought to in the middle of the desert. And I think it was the Chemical Ali, the guy who was killed a few years ago, came and asked question, who loves Ali or loves Hussein? The first youth stands up and raises his hand. This guy shoots him dead. Then he comes back to to ask the question. Now you know where is your destiny. Now if you really have the love for Ahlul Bayt, this is to be tested now. He thought that by coming back after killing one child, coming back, nobody's going to stand up. As soon as he said, who's the second one raised his hand. The third one raised his hand. What makes some group of people that they have these free spirits that attach to Ahlul Bayt and specifically Amir al-Mu'mineen to this degree, and yet others that completely not bothered by, and for them it doesn't matter whether Ali or Muawiyah. Here, Marhum Mutahari comes up with 4 classifications. He says, if you look at human being, there are those, what we call them a neutral group. They have neither friend nor enemy, no attraction nor repulsion. They make no waves in their lives and no ruffling of any feathers. like a dead stone on the middle of the road that people pass it by without paying attention to it. No hatred, no friends, no enemies. These are the useless ones, and we have plenty of them around. Number two, these are people that have attraction but no repulsion. You put them with the Jews, they become a member of the Jewish community. You put them with the Christians, they become a member of the Christian community. You put them with the atheists, they become atheists. Somebody said, Marhum Matari says, you put them with the capitalists, they become more capitalist than the capitalists. They put them with the socialists and the communists, they wave the flag. They drift. Amir al-Mu'mineen in khutbah of Kumail, that hamajun ru'a yamiluna ma'a kull rih. No matter which way the wind blows, they go that way. They have attraction, no repulsion. It doesn't matter for them whether this guy is a crook, steal something, a murderer, or anything else. It's the same. For them, they want to be nice and fit in. So for them, Ali and Muawiyah is the same thing. They try to show that we have attraction rather than repulsion. And they call that husn al-khulq. Those who have repulsion but have no attraction, push everyone away, arrogant, narcissistic. They don't know how to talk. They see themselves holier than anybody else. As soon as they open their mouth, you want to run away. This is repulsion without attraction. And finally, he says there are those who have both. And he locates Amir al-Mu'mineen salawatullah wasalamu alayhi within this category. It's a matter of principle. Matter of principle. If you have a principle, you cannot deal with Muawiyah as a Sahaba radiyallahu anh, with Ali as a Sahaba and radiyallahu anh. Yazid radiyallahu anh qatala al-Hussein radiyallahu anh. This mindset is what we have these days. So these people are those that have principle in their lives, and based on that principle, once they embody it in their lives, they naturally attract certain group of people and repel certain, like a magnet. For Ali, Salman, Abu Dharr, Miqdad, Ammar, and others will be attracted to him. For others, people like Marwan ibn al-Hakam and others will attract to him. And then you can make a judgment then. If Ali has, by the hadith of the Holy Prophet, is the paradigm, then naturally anybody that stands in opposition to Ali, then we have to put question mark over that character. Whether in the battle of Jamal, or whether in battle of Safin, or whether in battle of Nahrawan. If Aliyun ma'a al-haq, wal-haqqu ma'a Ali, la yaftariqan, that really underscores the huge historical fact about the life of Ali and what he had to suffer. Aliyun ma'a al-Quran, wal-Quranu ma'a Ali. The same thing. Anyone stood opposing Ali in Jamal is opposing Quran and truth. Anyone who challenged Ali in Safin is the same thing. And anyone who challenged Ali in Nahrawan is the same thing. This is the point that inshallah I would like to continue with it tomorrow night. Because this, we really need to focus on, it's not the biographical information about the life of Ali that we know, we should know, most of us may not know. It's with regard to really, again, Marhum Matari asks these questions. He said, there is a question, who killed Ali? And there is a question, what killed Ali? Who killed Ali? We constantly commemorate in our du'as and in majalis and so on, Ibn Muljam. But what killed Ali? That's the point. It was dogma. Last night I talked about Surah Al-Alaq, the relationship between human intellect and faith. Once you are separating them, you have Khawarij. Extreme on one side, and you look at the other side, God is dead nature. So, inshallah, we will continue with this tomorrow night and hopefully wrap it up as the last lecture about the life of Amir al-Mu'mineen, salawatullah salam alayhi, and then we go back to our tafsirs. Let's pray. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first and foremost during these nights. Tonight, yes, last night was for some people, tonight for others, the night of the 21st, the second night. Remember what I said in my lecture last night and the night before. The hadith from Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq is quite clear. Estimation starts on the night of the 19th. It will be written down on the night of the 21st, such as tonight for some. Sealed on the night of the 23rd. If we don't send signals to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, literally our destiny is waiting for those signals to be received. If we don't send any signals to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we intend to change, repent, and so on, we should not expect anything different from in the future that it was in the past. May Allah protect all of you, inshallah. We pray for the safety, well-being of everyone who has put her or his life at stake to protect everybody else. Thank you very much. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Please, brothers and sisters, remember everyone in your prayers tonight and tomorrow night and the one after. Thank you.